Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live. And hope you're having a great start to your day. We'll wait for a few folks to come on here with us and join us this morning live. John, you're first one up. Our friend from Elgin, Illinois. Mike from Norland and Rosalinda. Near the top all the time, Rosalinda. Good for you. Niagara Falls. Francis Marie. Nick, good morning from our staff. Nativity. Brahim. Nancy, good morning. Kim. Snowy Timmons, eh? Okay. Sandra. Aurelia. Debbie, good morning. Bernice. Today is blow your socks off day, guys. Lori, good snowy morning. Rosa, Joy, Wendy, Katie, and Lisa Marie. Louise, good morning, Louise. How are you? Mary, Yvette, how are you guys? Okay, big crowd coming on. Jerry, our friend, hey, the Habs actually won, Jerry. Chantal, bonjour from Ottawa. From Guelph, Evelyn. Karen Marie. Mick. Sherry. Angel. Prince Edward County. And Marla, good morning. And Yalan, bonjour. Donna. And April. And Adeline. And Bill. Guys, Tony, do you know how much I love your name, Tony? It's snowing in Labrador. Okay. Good morning, Ashley. Guys, that's going to be good this morning. Corey, Catherine, and we appreciate you guys. Okay, a few more. Ruth Ann and Bertha and Lise, Myrtle, Alberta. Good morning to you. Shelley and Janine. Okay, Diane, North Bay. We appreciate you guys. Missy, how are you, Missy? Andrea, Kevin, and Dave from Melville, Saskatchewan. Well, good morning, Maria, Rachel, Ardashel, Shireen, I like that. Lise, Deb, good morning, Deb. How are you? Diane, how are you? Mary? Okay, guys, Jeanette, this is hot off the press. Okay? This is new stuff. It is incredible to me. Okay? And I'm going to try and teach you this morning. Okay? I'm going to try and teach you this morning. I might even use a little bit of art. Now, I flunked art, okay? I flunked it big time. I couldn't even do a stick man. You know? So what you're seeing here is a cell, okay? It's supposed to look like one of your, trillions of cells in your body. Okay, and I don't have my big drawings, my charts that I have back home. Okay, so see that? That's a cell. Now we have learned two really, really, really important things that have come out in studies and have to do with how your body gets infected. How do you get a virus? Okay? Why is that? And more particularly, see, what they've done is they've done a study, and I'll bring you this in a picture in a second. Okay, let me just read to you a couple of studies that were done. Listen to this, okay? Listen to this. Someone with high blood pressure, especially during the last, with this particular virus, the coronavirus, okay? It's what they call a comorbidity, okay? It's one of the reasons people got really sick and a lot of people died from the infection with the virus. But we're going to look at this and unpack it because 2 studies have come out that are fascinating. Fascinating. One of them is saying that the virus, okay, the virus hijacks a receptor on the cell called the ACE, AC, all capital letters, ACE, okay, receptor. ACE receptors on the cells, okay? What are ACE receptors? Good question, okay? And I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but I'm going to break this down for you so that you really, really understand how significant this is. So one of the ways, especially in this particular virus that closed the world down for, how many months, how does it gain access and infect a person? One of the ways, and it's the most important way, according to the research, is that it hijacks a receptor that's on your cells. It's called an ACE2 receptor. Okay? ACE, ACE, all capital letters, 2 receptors. Now, what do those receptors do? What are they there for? Why are they on your cells at all? Well, I know this for a long time ago. ACE receptors, ACE2 receptors, are there to increase your blood pressure if need be. If need be. And it's interesting that people with high blood pressure, this is why high blood pressure is one of the reasons it's so dangerous. So we always talk about high blood pressure and, how it puts pressure on your heart. It puts pressure on your blood vessels. Right down the line of 60,000 miles of blood vessels. High blood pressure is dangerous. We all agree with that. There isn't a cardiologist, so I don't agree with that. Medicine, they do everything to keep your blood pressure, but let me finish because this is really important. So on your cells, you have a little, how I talk about an antenna? You have, every cell in your body has an antenna for vitamin D. We'll come back to that in a minute, but let me just finish out what I'm saying. What they're saying happens is viruses, especially the coronavirus, hijacks these ACE2 receptor cells. They hijack them to, how? Why? Imagine a virus having intelligence. They hijack an ACE2 receptor on top of your cells. Remember, you got cells everywhere. Your body's made up of cells. It hijacks the ACE2 receptor to gain entry into the cell and infect the cell. I mean, guys, this is incredible. This is why people who had high blood pressure have many more of these ACE2 receptors on their cells. And, okay, they're much more susceptible to viruses. You got high blood pressure? Much more susceptible to viruses, especially the coronavirus. And everybody agreed, even in the early days of people getting sick or whatever in the last 18 months, these were people that had what they call comorbidities. If you were healthy, this virus generally, and come on, guys, I don't want to be controversial. You know, some people just, you can't talk about stuff because their heads explode. What I'm saying is, what the research is saying is they've done the homework and said, okay, what happens? Okay, what happens? And listen to what they're saying too in the research. People who were on medications, that's 50% of the population, guys. Did you know that? 50% of the population are on high blood pressure medication. It's crazy. But even with the high blood pressure, you know what an ACE inhibitor does? It's a blood pressure medication. You know what it does? It gives you more ACE2 receptors on your cells. You even have more receptors. You have more antennas. So you know what happens? Even if you're on medication, the virus gains entry into the cell via these receptors. If you have high blood pressure, you have more receptors. If you're on medication, you have even more receptors. They're there to try and balance out your blood pressure at the cellular level. Isn't that crazy? Now, guys, you know me. You know what? I unpack it even more. Because how do you get high blood pressure? What is it? How do you get high blood pressure? Bring it back to food. It's insulin. It's driven by insulin because what insulin does, insulin resistance, what it does, it creates inflammation. Insulin, more than anything else, will affect your kidneys. Insulin will affect your blood vessels more than anything else. The body responds to high circulating insulin with inflammation. Remember the fog of war? Inflammation. It's generalized. It's not meant to last a long time. So here's these little antennas that are on your cells. And when you have high blood pressure, you make lots of ACE2 inhibitors. And it's one of the ways the virus or viruses gain entry to infect you. Guys, listen, you're always going to be surrounded. You're always going to be surrounded by viruses and bacteria. You don't see them, but it's an invisible war that goes on every day. You cannot, I don't care what you do, you can wash your hands 1,000,000 times a day. You can never touch your face. You can wear 15 masks. You can do whatever you want, guys. And I mean it. I'm not telling you not even to do it. All I'm telling you is I don't care, unless you're planning on leaving this planet, you are always going to be susceptible to viruses and bacteria. And we look for love in all the wrong places, because the world and the way medicine works and the way, the establishment works, we got a virus. Let's stay 6 feet apart. Guys, I'm going to tell you what that does. That does nothing. That does nothing. And we don't learn any lessons. We should, but we don't learn lessons. Because, and I've said this from day one. What about the immune system? What about keeping ourselves in good shape? How about getting rid of high blood pressure? Why not go to the cause? Why not work on our own bodies? But nobody talks about that. Okay, now, there's 2 parts to the story. Okay, so let's bring you that cell again, my little drawing. You don't have to worry about seeing it upside down because it looks like it's upside down. It doesn't matter, okay? So for the folks that are listening on a podcast later on, I'm showing a very kindergarten-like picture of a cell. And I'm showing little antennas on top. Okay? And one of the antennas is an ACE2, okay? An ACE2 inhibitor. Did you know you had those? ACE2 inhibitors, okay? Now, let me unpack something else that came out of this study. You guys are going to give each other a high five. One of the things that protects the cell wall, okay, we know about vitamin D, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We know that you have a receptor, especially your T cells. Remember your Navy SEALs of your immune system? Man, they have solar panels. They don't work without vitamin D. They are in siesta all day long. They won't do anything unless you give them vitamin D. But here's, guys, I gotta give you this because you're going to get excited. Okay, now let me draw it first. I put another circle around here. Again, very crude. Very crude. But what I'm circled was that, guess what protects your cell? It's like Israel. They have a dome. If any rockets come over, they literally have a dome that they can use to stop those rocket launches in the air. It's a dome. Okay, have you heard of that? Okay. So, do you know that you put a dome over your cells so that a virus cannot hijack the ACE2 receptor? Now, what makes up that dome? Okay, I just drew it here. You have a dome around your cell. Guys, this is fascinating. You know what it is? Someone say it. You know what that dome is made up of? You got, guys, it is going to blow you away. You know what it's made up of? Cholesterol. Cholesterol. The higher your cholesterol, the more dome you have over your cells, so that your cells don't get hijacked by a virus or a bacteria. Hello? You heard it first on the Doctor Is In podcast. You heard it first on the Doctor Is In Facebook Live. Cholesterol is your friend. And people that have low cholesterol, who are giving themselves high fives because they've made their physicians happy, we're actually making their immune system much more susceptible to bacteria and viruses. Isn't that incredible, guys? Aren't you excited? The more cholesterol you have, the more your immune system works at the cellular level. Think of it as a dome. Think of it as a dome around your cells. Won't let viruses get to those ACE2 receptors. Guy, I can't tell you how excited I am today. I saw this study and I'm thinking, why isn't this on every newscast? Why isn't this taught to every physician who is trying to hammer down? So here's what the study said. Excuse me. If your cholesterol is being hammered down by what? Statin drugs. Folks, I've told you this before, I'll tell it to you again. If physicians had their way, they'd put statin drugs in our drinking water to keep cholesterol down. They're so cholesterol crazy. And big pharma, cholesterol, get it down, get it down. Big food, get it down. Eat our cereals, eat Cheerios, it's good for your heart. Eat, Captain Crunch, it's good for your heart because it's got no cholesterol. Don't eat bacon and eggs. You don't want to eat bacon and eggs. You don't want to eat steak. You know how much cholesterol is in steak? You see those greasy bacon? That's cholesterol. That's going to kill you. Don't eat butter. Butter's got cholesterol. Ooh, have our margarine. Guys, your immune system at the cellular level. You need cholesterol. And like I always tell you, God don't trust you. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him because man in their wisdom looks at fat and they go, ugh, that can't be good for you. Yes, it is. And remember, cholesterol is only found in the animal kingdom. And what was going on there over in Italy I'm telling you, it's indoctrination. It's not just fossil fuels, guys. It's not going to be just the climate. Well, they're gonna want to get rid of our meat. And guys, in a way, I'm glad I'm pushing 70 because I feel sorry for young people. They're being indoctrinated. But guys, tell me you're not excited this morning. Tell me you're not excited. We find out how a virus wants to attack you. It wants to gain access into your body. It looks for ACE2 receptors. That's why people with high blood pressure and diabetics and people with inflammation, they are much more susceptible. And then, guys, listen, let me just unpack this a little bit more, because I'm going to talk to you about fat-soluble vitamins. Okay? Stay with me on this. You need cholesterol to properly absorb Viderma, vitamin D. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. What's that mean? It needs fat. That's what it means. That's why skinny people, you can be as skinny as a rake. That don't make you healthy. Guys, doesn't this come back again to food? It's incredible. The dome. You need cholesterol plus. I talk about this all the time. Not only vitamin D. What's another fat-soluble vitamin? It's at the top, not necessarily for its strength, but in the alphabet. A, vitamin A. And vitamin A is essential because vitamin A, it's the invisible mask. People ask me, aren't you wearing a mask? Yeah, I always wear a mask because I got a lot of vitamin A. Oh, you do? Vitamin A? How do you get vitamin A? From vitamin S. Steak. How do you get vitamin A? Butter. Don't ditch dairy. You know when people say ditch dairy? What? Dairy has vitamin A. Switch dairy. That's why you want cream. That's why you want butter. That's why you want eggs. Okay? Got it? Guys, because what does vitamin A and vitamin D have in common? They're fat soluble. I'll give you another one. Very important for your immune system, another fat soluble vitamin. What is another fat soluble vitamin? Vitamin K. 2. The best vitamin K is vitamin K2. It's found in butter. It's found in cheese. People ask me, I'm not kidding you guys. I get pushback every day on the reset. I get pushback. What? Eggs, meat, and cheese only? Yep. Butter? Yep. Dairy? Yes. Not milk. Unless you have a cow in the backyard. Don't drink milk. Full of fat, you want full of fat milk. Full of fat. That's why I like cream. There's a method to my madness. It's increasing your cholesterol. It's giving you the 15% that you need to provide for the dome. You like that? The dome. The dome over your cells. Now, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you guys this. My faithful followers, I'm letting you in on a secret. The rest of the world don't know it. Because the rest of the world is supposedly following the science, but they're following political science. It's politicized, not the true science. You guys are following the true science. Your cells have receptors. They're called ACE2 receptors. And the higher your blood pressure is, the more receptors you have on a cell. And that's what viruses and bacteria go after in order to get themselves inside. See, viruses, you'll live in perfect harmony with viruses and bacteria, guys. You'll live in perfect harmony with them. As long as you got cholesterol and you got the dome over top of your cells. Isn't that incredible, guys? I'm telling you. I flagged this study yesterday and it blew me away. It blew me away. It just confirms we're right. It's another confirmation. So please, don't try and get your cholesterol to be low, okay? Please. I know it's indoctrination and push. And don't fight with your doctor, okay? Don't fight with them, okay? They don't know. They just don't know these things. They're not looking. They're brainwashed with the studies of the big pharma and just hammer down that cholesterol. Hammer it down and, well, you're going to have no dome over your cells. I've said this to you many a time. You want low cholesterol? Oh, you want to die young? So remember, the dome over your cells. Viruses and bacteria they can't get inside with that dome there. And then, of course, you got, because of cholesterol, even more, you've got a lot of vitamin D, which now activates your T cells. You got vitamin A, the invisible mask. Vitamin A, not carrots, steak. Okay? It's pro-retinol A. That's your vitamin A mask. Isn't it amazing how our immune system works, guys? It's amazing. I love it. Okay. Okay. The invisible shield around your cells. No Tomahawk missiles. Viruses can get in. They're taken care of before they attack the cell. Man, oh man, oh man. The Bible's right, isn't it? You're fearfully and wonderfully made. What an immune system. Man, oh man, the more we unpack the immune system, more I'm in awe of how the body works. Incredible. Incredible. That didn't happen by chance, guys. I'm sorry. Now, tomorrow, I'm off. I was going to do an afternoon session, but I can't tomorrow. There's a couple of things going on and I'm busy. Tony Jr. and I talked yesterday about doing another webinar, and we're planning that. And so that's coming to a theater near you, okay? The last one was so popular. One of the things we talked about last night is we were trying to figure out how we can do the question and answer. And at the end, because last time we had over 400 questions. And of course, you're not going to get to all the questions. It's impossible. So, we talked about that, okay? So we'll keep you updated on that. The Friday is question and answer. So remember, tomorrow, nothing live tomorrow, okay? Nothing live tomorrow. So just keep that in your mind. And join our Martin Clinic Facebook group. If you haven't ordered your Christmas presents yet, you want to get the reset. The more and more and more and more studies that come out, like think about the study today, guys. Think about what I brought to you today, the dome. The dome over your cells. Folks, that's the reset. The reset is extremely high in cholesterol, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. Not cereal. Steak. Steak and eggs and bacon and sausages. And I'm telling you. Okay. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.